What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. Terrence Bud Crawford goes in on Keith Thurman and Jermell Charlo. Yeah, like a war of words on Twitter. War of words on Twitter, man. Terrence Crawford calls out Keith Thurman because Keith Thurman did an interview just the other day basically saying that if Terrence Crawford fight is proposed to him, that all Terrence Crawford has to do is send the contract and watch how fast he signed it. But it was always a caveat when he said that. He said, look, the terms would have to be right, the money would have to be right, and, watch how fast I signed it. But basically, Dig went back and said, look, I would prefer to have a tune-up before that fight. But, hey, if the money is right, if the money is something that I can't turn down, I will take that fight. He said, but the fights I'm looking at are also, along with Terrence Crawford, is a Manny Pacquiao rematch, Errol Spence Jr., and those are the three fights I would be looking at as my next fight. Now, he says I would, if I couldn't get those three big fights, he said, because he likes the feel of a big fight. When he fought Manny Pacquiao, that was a big pay-per-view event. That was his first time on the quote-unquote big stage in a high-level, elite-level pay-per-view fight, and he liked that type of fight. He says he preferred being that type of fight. That's what gets his blood flowing. That's what he gets him motivated. He would have basically inferring that he might have a hard time taking a lesser fight than a big-time fight. So that's why he listed the Pacquiao rematch, Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford. But all three of those fights would be pay-per-view fights. Now, he said if he couldn't get those fights, he would fight Danny Garcia, with the winner getting a chance to fight Errol Spence Jr. or Manny Pacquiao or Terrence Crawford. But like I said, even when he talked about Terrence Crawford, he was kind of less enthusiastic. He just, he said he'll take that fight. They send the contract, watch how fast he'll sign it. But he always had the little backdoor escape route that he took, saying, look, I will fight him, but the terms and the money have to be right. But at the same time, I prefer to have one tune-up before taking on the fighter of Terrence Crawford's caliber and skills, man. He's basically said the guy's a high-level fighter. He basically kind of said that he don't respect the belt he has, the WBO belt. He said he wouldn't really care about fighting for that belt. It'd just be to fight Terrence Crawford because he's one of the top fighters in boxing. So Terrence Crawford got word of that, and Terrence Crawford quickly said, told Keith Thurman to shut his ass up. Shut up. Keep my name out your mouth, because if I send the contract to you, you ain't gonna sign it. So keep my name out your mouth, man. You ain't serious about fighting me, because Terrence Crawford basically picked up on what I picked up on, like with Keith Thurman. In one breath, he was saying, "Yeah, I'll fight him. Yeah, send me the contract and watch how fast I sign it." And then in the same breath, he's saying, "Man, maybe I need one fight, a tune-up, and then I fight Terrence Crawford." And then he's saying, I really prefer the Manny Pacquiao rematch. I really prefer fighting Errol Spence Jr. Or if I can't get that fight, I'll fight Danny Garcia, and the winner of that fight get Errol Spence Jr. So it's almost like he said Terrence Crawford's name, because Terrence Crawford is one of the top fighters in boxing, one of the top welterweights in boxing. And and if you're going to mention Errol Spence Jr. and Manny Pacquiao, you almost obligated to put Terrence Crawford's name in the mix too. In order to not be looked at as a guy that's ducking Terrence Crawford, when you're talking about the top fighters in the welterweight division. So it's like he threw his name out there, but I didn't take it seriously, and neither did Terrence Crawford. That's why Terrence Crawford called him out, told him to keep his name out of his mouth. If he did send him a contract, he said, I bet your ass wouldn't sign it. So he basically saying he just selling whoop tickets, smoking mirrors. He ain't really serious about it. He really chasing that Pacquiao rematch or Errol Spence fight, or Danny Garcia rematch. Those are the more likely fights that he really seeking, not a fight with me, because he's talking about the political issues. With me being on ESPN and him being on Fox, Showtime, PBC, that could be a problem. He said that's not a problem, man. Just look at Fury and Wilder. Those two guys are on competing networks, and they was able to make it happen and come together for a huge pay-per-view fight a couple of months ago. So that's what Terrence Crawford said. But somehow he got into it with Jermell Charlo. I don't know. Jermell Charlo made a comment saying that, hey, I believe Errol Spence will fuck Terrence Crawford up. He ain't got nothing for Errol Spence Jr. So I guess the word got back to Terrence Crawford, so he went in on Jermell Charlo. Basically told Jermell Charlo, shut up too. Keep my name out your mouth. Keep my name out your mouth. You call yourself a lion. I show you that I'm the king of the jungle. right now, and I don't need to be no lion to be the king of the jungle. So he basically called Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo responded in kind and said, "Look here, I ain't with the lip wrestling. I'm all about that action." So he basically said, "I'm about that life, you know." So when you see me pull up, you know, basically that type of talk. So it was and Terrence Crawford sent a message, you know, back to him and said, "Look," he said, "God, pray for these fools that's trying to test me. I'm out." That's basically, I'm paraphrasing what he said, man. So a lot of back and forth action between Terrence Crawford. I guess he's basically saying, "Look, I got something for all these people that's trying to test me. You know, the people trying to say I'm ducking Sean Porter. I'm over there on ESPN Top Rank, not fighting a bunch of nobodies, Kavalauskas of the world, and I'm fighting Jose Benavidez, guy on one leg. You know, they're not giving me the respect I deserve, man. I'm pound for pound, man. I'm undisputed at 140. Show me some respect, man. You guys trying to test me and trying to think I'm softer than tissue. I'm gonna let you know that I ain't the one, man. I ain't to be played with. And y'all need to keep my name out your mouth." So that's basically what Terrence Crawford said, man. But I just kind of found it interesting how he responded back to Keith Thurman. And he responded just like how I was thinking when Keith Thurman did that interview talking about Terrence Crawford. I didn't really take him as really being serious about fighting Terrence Crawford. He basically downgraded the belt, basically said the win against Joe Horn wasn't impressive. Him getting that belt from Joe Horn, he doesn't hold the WBO in high regard. He basically looks at the WBO as a junior varsity belt, and he believes that the WBA and the WBC and IBF are the three major belts in boxing, and those are the belts that he holds in high regard, not the WBO. So Terrence Crawford didn't like those comments, and Terrence Crawford responded in kind, man. He basically called the guy and basically said that he's clout chasing. He's not serious about fighting him, and if he did send him a contract, he bet he wouldn't sign it. So that's just what it is, man. So, and basically he checks Jermell Charlo. He said, "Yeah, you over there cheerleading for Errol Spence Jr.? Hey, look here, I might just want to move up to 154. And you say you're a Lions owner. You say you the king of the jungle. I don't think so. I'm the king of the jungle. I can go there and show you that I'm the king of the jungle. There ain't no lion." So he basically called him out. So that would be an interesting fight. That would be a very, very, very interesting fight, because I look at Terrence Crawford as a real solid welterweight. You know, a lot of people say he's a small welterweight. Now I look at him as a real solid welterweight, and I look at Jermell Charlo as a junior middleweight, but a big junior middleweight. I think he can easily move up to a middleweight. So it would be a very, very interesting fight, man. Very interesting fight, man. If that fight would ever come into play, man. But both guys would have to continue to win. Terrence Crawford would have to sweep through the welterweight division, become the top dog at welterweight division, therefore beating Errol Spence Jr., beating Manny Pacquiao, and cleaning up the welterweight division. And then he would want to move up. If Jermell Charlo keeps winning, he cleans up the junior middleweight division, beats the Jason Rosario, beats Jared Hurd, beats Patrick Teixeira, and those guys, and cleans up the junior middleweight division. And that could be a big, huge fight at 154 pounds for all the marbles at junior middleweight title. And find out, and that would go a long ways. It'd be early on. This is the early part of the decade. We just starting this decade, 2020 to 2030. That's the decade that we're looking at. But whoever comes through that potential, if both guys keep winning, Terrence Crawford, Jermell Charlo will have an early claim. Still got a long ways to go, but have an early claim as a boxer of the decade. Very, very, very premature. Very, very premature, but have an early claim. You still have basically 9 more years to go. Say if that fight happens in 2021, have 9 more years to go of boxing for somebody else to come forward or come out and do bigger and better things, but they will have an early claim, an early stake at fight of the decade, man. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires. I know you're saying, man, that's an outlandish statement that you just made, JB Sports. No, I'm just saying early. I ain't saying that's the fight of the decade. If obviously you got 9 years, anything can change. Both of those guys can lose after that. Or both of the guys can get beat, or somebody can come along and do better than those guys. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of up-and-coming young fighters that I'm very excited to see what the future holds. Jaron Ennis, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Javante Tank Davis, who else? Teofimo Lopez. A lot of young up-and-coming fighters. Virgil Ortiz. A lot of young Daniel Dubois. You know, a lot of young fighters that's going to be doing some good things in the next 9 to 10 years, man. It'll be interesting to see how it unfolds in the sport of boxing, man. I'm just saying that fight there, that whoever comes through with that, just saying that's a hypothetical. You know, that fight might not ever happen, but just hypothetical. If both guys clean out their division, they meet up at 154, and the winner of that, both guys still under, well, Jermell Charlo got one loss, a disputed loss, but whoever comes out of that fight, a potential matchup between Jermell Charlo and Terrence Crawford, will have an early claim, an early lead. Early lead. That's all it is, early lead. Not to say there is, but an early lead as fighter of the decade. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires, man. Leave your comments in the comment section. What you think about the comments that Terrence Crawford made toward Keith Thurman and Jermell Charlo, and what you think about a potential matchup between Terrence Crawford versus Keith Thurman, and a potential matchup between Terrence Crawford versus Jermell Charlo at 154. Let me know what you think would happen in those two matchups. This is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. I'll holla.